the better. I should add, for the better. What if I don't have Creole seasoning? That's fun. What if I don't have Creole seasoning? That's what the Walmart.com is for. You can get it at Walmart. There's also some at the Dollar General that's local here. Let's see. Not to be out of context again. He's begging me at this point for me to make YTP at this point. Oh goodness. Feel free. One thing is, I need you guys to because I need more content for the clips channel. If you guys could make more clips of me and send them in there, like, that'd be great too. Because I do want to post 3 clips a week, but I just don't have the time to sift through and make the clips. So if you guys could make clips, I would really appreciate that.
It's a moving interview.
Oh, but by the way, we have this video here. Apparently this interview was removed from YouTube. And so I was able to find it, and I wanted to watch it and just see what it was about and try to see if I could figure out why it was removed. So here we go. This is Helena Kirshner tells Tucker Carlson why she detransitioned and is now speaking out against pushing children to transition.
It's a moving interview. There's a lot more of it in the episode.
This is not even like a
on set now. Lena, thanks so much for coming on. There's something so sad about that. First of all, thank you for speaking up, because your voice does matter, I think, in this conversation. But you felt what every young woman I've ever met felt at a certain age, which is uncomfortable with yourself. And it feels like you were exploited at that moment of weakness.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you said, it's completely normal for not only young girls, but...
What kind of title is detransitioner? That's like the weirdest title to, like, call yourself. That's like me being interviewed by Fox News and they call me as a, like, Christian convert. Like, detransition, like converting like to be a Christian. Like, I'm a Christian now. Converting and becoming a Christian is something that I have done, but it's not something I continue to do. Detransitioner, what is she, like, detransition herself like 5 times a week? Was she like going like detransition people? She go across the country with her little microphone detransitioning people. Like, what does it mean to be a detransitioner?
But often young boys too, to feel uncomfortable with themselves.
I will say conversion therapists aspire to be the as recognized detransitionists as Helen Kirshner here.
And young boys too, to feel uncomfortable with themselves, uncomfortable with their body. But we have this ideology that is especially prevalent online that says that if you have those feelings, that means you're trans. I mean, there are literally people who say, if
literally, that ideology is literally the most sexist thing you could say.
you don't even like your...
Other than that, women belong in the kitchen because, I mean, men belong in the kitchen too.
Your voice on a recording, that's a sign of gender dysphoria, and you need to go see a medical professional because you're trans.
Talk about taking advantage of people. So how do you, and this is all explained in greater depth in the documentary.
Also, I will say, maybe it's just me, but I feel like people who say women don't belong in the kitchen just like grew up with mothers who couldn't cook.
And this is all explained in greater depth in the documentary, but how do you feel now at 23?
Like, it's not, okay, I know I'm getting on a tangent, but I don't care. I know it's not inherently bad for women to cook. Just to say that, like, because you're a woman, you should cook. That's, like, not good. But, like, I don't know. Just a little thought I had.
In the documentary, but how do you feel now at 23 looking back on what happened?
Okay, Ison, what's up?
I feel honestly grateful for the experience because it's taught me a lot about the world and about myself, but I really feel afraid for these other young girls like myself who they might not be. I consider myself lucky that I was able to get out of it unscarred really medically, but there's so many young people who can't say the same, and psychologically as well. I mean, it's just devastating to, especially from a young age, be lied to by adults at school and by medical professionals and told that your body is wrong, you need to change it, you need to get hormones, you need to get surgeries. That's devastating for a young person. So I'm just really concerned
so many people are being lied to.
Younger girls and boys like I once was, being led down this path and being hurt by it.
It's a failure of male leadership, of adult leadership.
One thing that really annoys me is that, like, this whole thing is going to derail all the progress that the LGBT movement has made in sort of like getting society to like not hate people who are LGBT and like not hate people like for who they're attracted to, because you have like the whole entire transgender thing, which is like destroying not just the lives of a lot of people who do transition, but also destroying the lives, or not the lives, but like women's rights and like eradicating like a female only spaces. And then on top of that, people are using that to go even more extreme into I don't know, just like all sorts of crazy things. Because if everything's based on what you identify as, then what do you have? Then you have like things like the map community. Then you have just like all sorts of just crazy things that are even worse, to the point where parents are finally recognizing that this is a slippery slope that is going to damage their children. But I think unfortunately, because there are all these harmful qualities of the LGBT agenda, some of the good things, like, you know, not hating people for who they're attracted to, are also going to be wiped away at the same time. We're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater on this one.
And it does seem like some of the steps are medically irreversible.
Absolutely. I mean, there's all sorts of, you know, the White House actually just put out a chart yesterday that says that some of these steps are reversible or partially reversible, but that's such an oversimplification of the truth. I mean, when you go on a cross-sex hormone, like, that's going to give you not just physical changes, but psychological experiences that you can't just act like they never happened. You can't just take it back.
Yes.
And especially with surgeries, you know, a breast implant after a mastectomy is not the same thing as never having your breast taken off in the first place. So there's a lot of young women who are going through that, who had a double mastectomy at 16, 17, 18 years old, or even younger. That happens. Who, you know, there's nothing you can really do to put that feeling of oneness and safety in your body back.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. I hope people are hearing you with open minds, with tolerance. Are they?
There's a lot of people out there, especially parents, who are really thankful for what I'm saying, because they see that their young girl or their young boy is going through this, and the school is telling them, you need to affirm them, they're trans, you need to transition them. All their doctors are telling them, you need to transition them. And these parents, they know that their child should not be having these cosmetic procedures.
Yeah, like, it's really cool to see, like, parents kind of standing up in defense of their kids. That's what's been really great to see. It is really seeming like parents are the front lines for changing things culturally. Not pundits, not all these other whack people, not politicians, but parents, and that's really cool to see.
There's a lot of parents who are really...
Because also, I trust parents more than pundits in well, I don't know, more than pundits, I guess. Well, it depends on the parent. But I trust, in general, I trust parents more than pundits. I trust pundits more than politicians. Parents more than politicians, so...
Thankful. There are other young people who are really thankful that I'm saying what I'm saying, but obviously, you know, you have the trans activists and the trans community that exhibits some very unhealthy kind of cult-like dynamics who are really upset about this.
Man, you are so articulate and thoughtful at 23. It's
Thank
just,
you.
it's remarkable.
Wait, he said that she's articulate? What a racist thing to say.
Thank you.
People who have suffered like you have sometimes get deeper.
Yeah, you learn a lot. Like I said, I learned a lot.
You do. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
A great video about